Alright. Hello everyone, it's me, Generic Pie, back with another video for you today. And this is a game that I played against Mistaken Tuner. Mistaken Tuner is a really decent player. I think they joined around the same time that I joined the Discord server. We've played a few times. And this one was an interesting one. It was an interesting one. So let's dive right into it, I guess. So I was playing as the Free People. I actually offered to play as the Free People because I just kind of I was in the mood, and I had quite a bad run of luck as a Free People. So I'm kind of like hoping that if I keep playing as the Free People, the luck will come back, because that's how luck works, as we all know. That's exactly how the Java gods work. So anyway, Mistaken Tuner kindly let me have one token. I started off with Imrahil and Mirror of Galadriel, and they started off with Rage and Balrog of Moria. So Balrog's a nice starting card. Rage is always pretty good. And Imrahil's nice, it's playable. Mirror could be great for getting me Gandhi, potentially. I say Fellowship Fine and Dandy. They put 0 eyes in, and they roll this horrendous roll. And I roll this similarly horrendous roll. The Java gods are just lapping up those Palantirs today. So decide to, Palantir City, baby. So I pass. They draw into Olog High. I pass again. They draw Shadows in the Misty Mountains. Oh, dear God, why? Like, probably the best starting card for the Shadow. Early card for the Shadow. So don't like seeing that. Yeah, hurts me going through Mordor. And yeah, so Moria's not a nice place in this game. I want to use Gandhi's ability, so I played Imrahil, draw into Grimbjorn, son of Bjorn. They then play Shadows, which is exactly the right thing to do. I say boo. I then normally you keep Grimbjorn for the scouts, but when they played this, and I want to keep cycling cards, and if they play that, it kind of tells you this army is probably going to go here. They're probably going to go for Lorien anyway. So I thought I'd actually play Grimbjorn for once. And I then draw into through Day and Night / Confusion. They start shuffling around armies. I move the Fellowship. The Fellowship is hit. Also boo. But at least it's a 3. So that's... I mean, you never like to be hit on the first move on a single die. But if there's anything that's going to make up for it, it's killing Gandhi for a 3. And as I say, honestly, every game I play recently, doesn't matter if I'm Fellowship or Shadow, I get a Gandhi 3. It's happened. Honestly, I swear, like, it feels like about, I don't know, 8 of the last 10 games I've played have had a Gandalf 3, regardless of sides. Very, very weird. At least everyone's benefiting from it. Anyway, so we, what do I do then? I use my final Palantir to then draw a strategy card. I draw Interfere Fire Foes. And they then start readying their army. So this army comes up to out of Morannon, and this army goes to Dimaldale. I decide not to use the token. We pass. We get on to turn number 2. I then draw Path of the Woes and Bilbo's Song, and they draw Give It To Us and Half Orcs and Goblin Men. So pretty decent cards. Well, Path of the Woes is Bilbo's Song. Bilbo's Song's too early. Path of the Woes is rarely used. So yeah, not the best cards for 3 people there. Another kind of pretty terrible roll for the Shadow, and another awkward roll for the Free People. So, I mean, you can get your military stuff going, but just kind of awkward all round. The problem here for Shadow is that they then have to decide, do they want to get Sauron to war and then just charge into Lorien? Or do they want to get Isengard to war and then have basically a guarantee of a minion next turn in case they get another terrible roll? So kind of awkward all round. I'd say, well, going to be a slow one. They pass. They decide to go for Isengard. This is an interesting decision. I don't know what the right decision here is. You're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. I think because I have 4 musters effectively, I would be worried about me. If you go Isengard, it does give me the option of just powering down the elves and mustering up Lorien, which obviously you don't want to happen in this situation. However, I can only get, what can I do? 3 musters. So I can get 1 in to Lorien this turn now, and then 1 at the start of next turn if I actually roll a muster, which is not guaranteed on 4 dice by any means. Anyway, I move the Fellowship. I missed. They play Give It To Us. Get that in the pool. And I say 2 paths to go here. Go hard on the elves or just muster everything else. Because, like, you kind of either... Mustering the elves, I could end up using effectively a token and 4 dice or 3 dice to get 1 elf in here. And then if I don't roll a muster next turn, that's a huge commitment to get a single elite. So it's quite a risky thing to do. Alternatively, you can do a load of admin effectively. You can get the Gondorians down 1. You can move this army to here, make use of the fact that they're actually played Grimbjorn. You can move this army up to here. You can like do all the little things that kind of need to be done because you're not guaranteed to get hybrid dice later. So I have a think, and they say, "Oh, give me a ring," which is option number 3. I decide against option number 3. I decide to go for the elves. I thought, let's just see what happens, because otherwise they're going to get a very cheap Lorien. And so I use the token. They march this army over here. And then I decide to do some army moves because this army is coming here. If I just fully commit to the elves now, then they can take advantage of the fact that I'm committed to getting elves in here by being sneaky and either getting Gondor to war or charging this into Helm's Deep. And both of these kind of suck for me. So I decided to, I suppose since the Gondorians aren't actually, I need to kind of have them down 1 and that in there to make that really useful. But I know they haven't got an attack unless that's a Nazgul attack card. So maybe I should have just kept going for the elves. Maybe this is a little bit overthinky. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. They play half orcs, buff this up even more. So they've got to play 14 strength army against these 5 little HP elves. I say, Jesus, me no like. I get the elves fully to war. And then just praying to the heavens that I actually get at least 1 muster next turn. But yeah, I think I was mostly concerned that I wouldn't roll a single hybrid next turn, and then this army would be isolated in Edoras, and then they get a really cheap Helm's Deep, or because that's really awful. That's like I'd rather give up having 1. I'd rather have 1 fewer elite in here, if it means that I'm not giving up Helm's Deep very cheaply indeed. So then I get this roll. So there's kind of a theme here. Not getting very much Fellowship movement at all. They still don't have a minion, so it kind of was sucking for both of us. I'm 3 down on movement. They are 3 down on musters. So yeah, they say, dang. This is good for me because they still need to commit 1 die to... Oh yeah, sorry, I could have always got... Yeah, I forgot about the fact that Sauron's not at war this turn. So I do have 2... Still have 2 goes at getting elites into Lorien, so that's great. They naturally get Sauron to war, and then I can get the full 4 in Lorien. So got pretty lucky there to get that many musters in a way. Normally getting 3 musters in a movement is horrendous, but in this instance it worked out okay. Though the Fellowship is going to be colossally slow, and I've got a will that I can't really use to get Gandalf because they're just going to wait until the final move of the turn. Because I use my token, I can't guarantee I get Gandalf. So there's pros and cons here. They put Lorien under siege. Fellowship moves. They're missed. So I've got 3 free movements. That's good. But again, it hurts. Like I'm getting single movement against one eye. And in War of the Ring, when that happens, it tends to, even though these aren't great dice for the shadow, if you're not moving a lot against one eye, it can often come back to bite you. Then they can freely get Saruman because they're not worried about Gandalf coming in. I pass, they get the Panther of Vorthek on the board, so that sucks. I could use suppose I could use a ring to get rid of it straight away. I think, maybe I should have just done that. Can't remember what I do with this muster. Also, boo. I forget that I could have got Gandalf anyway. So they play Monsters Roused. I couldn't have got Gandalf anyway. They draw into a Deadly Strife. I then get Gondor down. I kind of feel like maybe there you you move twice, use a ring to move twice against a single eye, just to keep the Fellowship moving. But I was thinking I've made the effort of moving this guy up here. This army could charge into Gondor next turn. Again, I might not roll another muster or enough musters, so at least getting Gondor down justifies the Druiden guy's existence. So yeah. They start marching this army over, and they move. Ah, yeah, these guys to Umbar. Okay. And then we go on to turn number 4. I draw Randrills and Has the Stewards. So presumably I get rid of Has the Stewards. What else do I get rid of? They get Horde from the east. They've got 2 Deadly Strifes. Ouchie. Has the Stewards. And I get rid of Thranduil's Archers. So that's one of those cards that, like, you think, well, I've got a pretty tasty hand. Fear Fire Foes could come in really useful if I can get a Hobbit up here. So just on the off chance of that happening, I want to keep Fear Fire Foes, because if it does happen, that's gonna be a game changer. That can like win you. Win you a game potentially. Can't go to Power 2 Great. Can't go to File. Can't go to Bilbo's. Can't go to Galadriel. And then I've got a Confusion. So I think I can prefer a Confusion to a Valor. Maybe I should have kept, because this has 2 purposes, the Valor and the Thranduils, whereas the Confusion just has 1. Really, in a game like this, I'm probably not going to play through a day and a night, I don't think. So yeah, maybe that was a mistake, because you never know when that can come in useful. You think you're going to always be safe in here, but it doesn't always work out like that. And I rolled this again. What is this shit? So at this point, -4 movement, +4 in musters. I said WTF, what is this game? And they get they're not getting great rolls either. So yeah, they're -4 on hybrids, +3 on armies though, so that kind of balances out somewhat. And now they've at least got the musters they need. So it is what it is. I get Gandhi on the board. They get the Witch King. Maybe think, looking back, I didn't need to rush Gandhi there. I think the move that I do next, I should have done first. So they get the Witch King there because they want to cycle cards. Then I have a think, and I decide to use a ring to sort that out. Because if they get an attack on there, they're probably going to wipe that out in one go. And then can't get this in here. I'm not going to use a ring to get like the Fords of Eisen guys into Helm's Deep. That's rubbish. But getting both of these armies into here, that's good. That makes Helm's Deep like an actual thing that can be annoying for the Shadow and slow them down. So I think I probably shouldn't have taken the risk, because they could have attacked into that army without the Witch King and still taken it down. Maybe they're worried about me having a scouts. They don't have a swarm of bats, and I've seen a lot of cards. They know that I've killed 1 scouts already. I think they just, maybe it's a little bit greedy. You're thinking about getting that extra card draw. But yeah, I think it worked out better for me, even though I had to give up a ring. So they take Western Met. These guys are down 1. And then I realized I've got 2 musters. If I put the Rohan down 1, they've got a decision to make, because either they get Helm's Deep under siege, in which case I can muster in both Edoras and Fold, or they take Edoras and Fold, and then I can muster more in Helm's Deep. So I've kind of got them in a bit of a trap there. They go for Helm's Deep, which I think overall is the better one. I then use a die to get these guys in here, and I'm basically just wasting one of their dice. They could have done this in one dice. Now they've got to do it in 2 dice, and they might lose some guys in the process. They attack Fold. They use a card, cycle cards. I was like, oh man, I should have played the Confusion. I thought when they played a card, they were playing Swarm of Bats to stop me sneaking away somewhere. But no, they were just playing Words of Power to cycle character cards. So that was nice of them. I say nice. I thought it was Swarm. They get their hit. I don't get anything back. Then they use the ring that I just used back at me to attack into Edoras because they don't want me mustering in their first thing next turn. They forgot to draw before, so they draw into their terrible / lower the ring. I then played Confusion. I'm like, phew, because I didn't want to. I was like, I've wasted the chance to play a card this turn. Because you don't want to be wasting cards every turn by being overdrawn. So I wanted to play a combat card this turn, and this is the only one I can play really. So that gets me a hit, which is nice. So I get 2 hits back, which is actually really handy because they have to commit 1, which means this army's now really small, and they're gonna have to. They can't just march this in and kill it now. They're gonna have to get reinforcements from Orthanc. So that's wasted some time and weakened their army a bit. So it's gone pretty well. Well, at least I made a nuisance of myself. Yeah, so I think given the dice I had, I think that turn went okay. Drawing to Spirit of Mordor, there is another way. At this point, I've got Gandhi, so I decided to kill Mirror of Galadriel. Mistake says they did good. What do I get rid of? Yeah, I think at the time that made sense. In retrospect, later, I think I wish I'd held on to that. But I was thinking Spirit of Mordor could be good against this army. Or use Scout somewhere later on, potentially. Anyway, so they put no eyes in and get 1 added. And then I get, again, so this is when I'm like, oh god, they get so many attacks now. And they've still got Palantir. And I've only got 2 movement, and I'm on 3 steps on turn 5. This is glacially slow, guys. Hobbits, get your skates on. Don't you realize, like, the fate of Middle-earth rests with you? What are you doing? Anyway, I play a party great. So I was really thankful that I got to play that before they got to attack into Lorien, so that's good. On they went. It's put into the pool, so some nasty red tiles in the pool now. They start mustering in Orthanc, getting the double elites. I pass. They do a full Saruman power thingy. Was it Saruman's voice or something like that? They march down 3 little guys, and they're basically trying to get like a full contingent into Helm's Deep so that they can have a good go at taking it down. I move the Fellowship. I'm safe. So 4 safe moves, but I think every single one except maybe 1 move has been against 1 eye, so that's not that unlikely. I move again, then I'm hit, and it's a 3. And I say, all right, let's see if I can get 5 Striders in a row. So before this game, I'd got Strider as my first random 4 consecutive games. So I was seeing if I could go for the big 5. Can I? That's got to be some kind of record. I'm sure some unlucky bastard has got like 7 or something, but it gets Pippin, which is great because it means holding on to Fear 5 foes was justified. And I say, wait. So I get 2 corruption, send him. I'm like, should I go to Bree, to Shire? I don't want him to just get like killed by like a renegade orc, so I'd send him to the Shire instead. Then they attack Helm's Deep. I don't really have any cards I want to play here. I don't want to use Theros Not There Bubble, so I'm hoping to save those for Mordor. Can't play Scouts, and I want to keep Fear 5 foes to play with one of these 2 dice, so I have to no-card it. They've got a We Come to Kill, so that's handy. They get 1 hit. I get 1 hit back. They did their post, they get another hit, so we're down to just 4 guys left against this monster army in Helm's Deep. They then draw into a swarm of bats and play a swarm of bats. I don't play anything, and they get 2 hits on the combat roll and 2 hits on the reroll. Wait, do they? That should be 4 hits. Yeah, he corrects himself. And I just get 1 back. So that's been a very easy, I say, very dead indeed. So yeah, the Rohirrim didn't put up much of a fight. I think the one guy in Edoras did about as much damage to the forces of evil as this entire Helm's Deep army did, really. So not brilliant. I mean, they were always expected to lose that, but I was kind of hoping they would, like, you know, hurt this army a bit more, weaken this army a bit more, because now this army can, like, presumably march all the way over to Helm's Deep, and it's big. It's big. Although the one benefit of, I think as a free people, like when the Shadow sends the Sauron army over here to here, you're effectively, normally this is an army that's either sent up or combined to go up here, or to combine to go here. So by sending it here, this is a place that you can sometimes take down with just the Isengard. So you've kind of effectively used 2 pools, 2 big army pools to take down 1 stronghold. So whenever that happens, I think that buys the free people some time. It does mean that the Shadow can take over the whole of Rohan without any doubt of hijinks or shenanigans happening. So that's a positive. But the downside is I think it does mean Shadow military is a bit slow. However, in a game like this, the free people movement is also like incredibly slow. So I don't think it really matters that much at all. I play my Fearfire foes to get the North to war, which is also nice because I've got this army here because of Grimbjorn. I can aim to try and get this army into Woodland Realm, which means I won't have to muster the elves. I can actually make use of the Northern Force pool and then muster the elves as well. They start getting the Southrons down. I get Gondor fully to war because I need to start defending these 2 strongholds if they get Corsairs, if when this army comes to Minas Tirith, etc. And then they play Balrog, so like, great. So there's obviously two uses for that. Stops hurts me going through here, and also can be used in combat if they still decide to do that. I get Weeper the Swifter and Aemis on Abaemond, a turn too late. They get Cruel Weather, and Fighting Urukai, also kind of a turn too late, not that they needed it. But that, yeah, you can use Fighting Urukai in here though, or in here, so still pretty powerful. They get a very muster-heavy turn, and I get yet another single movement turn. Oh my god, so now I'm down 6 movement on turn 6. This is like par for getting into Mordor, right? And I'm on step 5, and I'm only going to move once this turn, maximum twice if I use a ring. So I'm like, shit, man. I've got to do something drastic here just to stay in the game. Because even though the Shadow's not getting that many attacks, like, they're doing stuff with all these dice because I'm not getting any movement against my goddamn objective to win the game because they're only rolling 1 eye. So, like, you know, like, even the musters, you're like, at some point in the game of Shadow, you want to roll a load of musters to get the Southrons to war and start mustering up armies to go and take things down. It's not as good as getting tons of attacks, but it's still, like, at some point you need to do that. It's kind of like admin. It's like doing your taxes, you know, you've got to do the mustering to create the armies to then send them out to war. So, like, it might be slow in a military sense, but, like, he's getting shit done. I'm not really getting much shit done. And I don't have the best cards to actually do some dynamic stuff, you know. I could throw Spirit of Mordor at this army. I can't use Aemir. Don't want to use... These cards are all for, like, later. So I'm like, not ideal. And I'm thinking, I'm probably going to just, like, lose this game. Like... But I do decide that I also need to just get rid of the Panzer of Orthanc, because if you just let that thing sit, it bleeds you dry. And I'm going to need my wills to move. Maybe I should have waited until the turn after to do that, because killing Palantir on a turn where they've only got 1 eye in the box and I've got only one movement. Maybe you try and move twice this turn, so maybe that's a mistake. You know, if I should have got rid of it the previous turn when I just had a die before they could use it at all. So that's a slight misplay on my part. I should have tried to move twice this turn using that ring, I think. Anyway, to get the Southrons to war, I'm worried about Corsairs, so I muster in Dol Amroth. They start mustering in South Rune, and I'm like, oh, sweet Jesus. I've hardly got any musters now. And I think if I was in Mistaken Tuner's shoes this turn, what do they have? They've got Horde from the East as well. I think I would have been tempted to just like go all out on just getting an army into Woodland Realm before I can get the North to do anything. So what can you do? You could go muster again. That's a 6, 7, 8, 9 army. Move up here. Well, no, sorry. Send some leadership over. That's 2 dice. Maybe you then use Horde from the East here to get up to like a super big army. And then I think, do you have enough attack dice then? Then go attack, move, attack. It still gives me 2 musters, I think. Although I've just used a ring. So then you could use a ring on one of the other musters. So maybe I'm basically thinking like, is there a way of getting Woodland Realm under siege with only 1 muster? That's what I'd be trying to think about doing this turn. And also using the half movements to get this army across here. That would be my priority, if possible. Not sure if it's possible. Would have to give it some proper serious analyzing. Yeah, so they do. Yeah, so they do the mustering in South Rune using that card. I start complaining. I give them back because I killed the ring. I need to give them the ring, so I give them the ring. Then they draw Orc Patrol. So I think that's when maybe I would have used that ring to start moving armies. Because, yeah. 1, 2. Yeah, you still can't quite get them. You can almost get there. But it makes it really hard for me to defend Woodland Realm. Even if you just get to Dale, it still makes it awkward for me. Discarding power to great. So they get rid of Fighting Urukai. And what else do they get rid of? What's the other card? Anyway. Oh, so they kill Orc Patrol. Okay, cool. So that's what. Okay, that's why they drew the cards to kill Orc Patrol and draw into, because they can't go to Cruel Weather, so they needed a character card. Okay, that makes sense. I moved the Fellowship. They're missed. So Fellowship's having a grand old time. Very just slowly, daintily dancing across the meadows without a fear of, any sense of urgency whatsoever. And now this is when I'm like, I've got to do something drastic. So I send the Gandhi man into Lorien.
A wizard is never licked, nor is he earned.
And I say, need to buy sign. And they say, oh, interesting. And my thinking was here, just look at the board state, right? Look at the board state. They're on 3 victory points. This army can definitely take down one of these, unless I buy myself some time. Because at the moment, this army is probably going to be able to take Lorien without some help. So if that takes that down, they're on 5. This army gets up here and takes just one of these, probably up to 8. And then they've got all of this just to take something in this, and this army to take Minas Tirith. So like, and I'm only on step 6. I'm probably 2 turns away from Mordor. There just ain't no way that I'm gonna, unless I do something drastic, they're just gonna stomp me. I might get close. I might get to step 3 or something like that. Make a noble attempt, but like, I just feel like I've got to do something. And my best bet in this situation, I feel, is to send Gandalf into Lorien. Maybe looking back, the wiser move would have been to send in a couple of like Captains of the West or something. Can you send multiple in with We Prove the Swifter, or is it just one? If it's just one, I think Gandhi was the best play to buy time. If you can send multiple in with We Prove the Swifter, then maybe I could have sent a couple of guys in. Anyway, he shines. We get Durin's Bane. Forgot about that. So yeah, Durin's Bane, not as perfect against Gandhi, so that sucks. But they get one hit, so that's not terrible. Happy, I'll take that. They miss on their roll. And then I get an amazing Valor. So I roll 3 4s, which is fantastic. So that would have been a complete dud roll otherwise. So I get 4 hits. So good job, Valor. Best Valor ever. They press. They draw into Morgul Wound. They choose a card. They play Relentless Assault. Another great anti-Gandhi card. Ooh. They get 4 hits against the Gandhi. Oh, God, Gandhi. I only get 1 back. And I'm thinking, like, I've made a grave error here. I've just wasted Gandhi for nothing whatsoever. I haven't even bought myself a bloody turn. So I was thinking if they pull out a stripe or something like that, like Jesus, this is really bad. And they have a deadly strife. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna have to use up this heroic death, I think, in case they've got a really good card. They play a strategy card, and I'm like, oh, they stop. Okay. And I say, probably needed that to go better. Yeah, that didn't go as well. The Relentless Assault really hurt me there. But thankfully, I'm getting time. The one positive is it's bought me time to sort out my defenses here. That's why I was so worried about this army coming up here. So it wouldn't give me time to actually make use of the fact that the North are at war and get this army to defend Woodland Realm and do something with Dale to defend Erebor. So I was really happy that I actually got a little bit of time there to kind of get that into motion. They attack Lorien. They play Deadly Strife against my Heroic Death. I'm like, well, at the very least, the Heroic Death should buy me another round of either Lorien existing, and then they're going to have to muster it up, or Gandhi's die, or both, potentially. So they get 3 hits, and I get 3 hits back. And I decide to keep Gandhi and to kill 1 elite and to kill 1 leader. So the Heroic Death has kind of... I'd rather have Gandhi's die for another turn, I think, to try and give me a chance of getting to Mordor, rather than killing Gandhi and having 1 extra elite in Lorien. Because I think the die is more important. Like, if they buff this up, Lorien's going down regardless. So, rather have my die. And just justifies sending him in there in the first place somewhat. Because I think Gandhi did buy me some time there, surely. Yeah, that would have definitely fallen this round if I hadn't sent Gandhi there. Anyway, so Bookham Zarbor and Deadman versus Threats and Promises. Oh, wait, no. Grond and the Shadows Moving. It's like, oh, Grond. So, yeah, nice cards for the Shadow. They've had, yeah, Raw Weather, Grond. Oh. And I say, I wish there was a get a companion the fuck out of a stronghold card. That would be nice right now. Get Gandhi, just evacuate him. Gandhi puts on a jetpack and just flies out of Lorien, goes back to his home planet. They put 1 eye in. Again, only roll 1 eye. How down on eyes are they? Only 2 down on eyes. Okay, not too crazy. And I actually roll some movement this turn. So I decide to get the Fellowship moving. And did I need to rush to do that? I don't know why I rushed to do that. Anyway, I did. They play Rage. That's handy for getting guys to back up Lorien. I say Gandhi is quivering in his wizardy boots. But yeah, this also buys me. This is kind of like, in a way, this justifies it, because if I hadn't bought this time, this army would just be marching up here, and I wouldn't have had half the time to do this stuff. So this is the positive, I guess. Shadows moving. This army comes up, doop, doop, doop. So that's a really nice card for them in this situation. They've got lots of movement they want to do. I pass. They take Iron Hills. Luckily, I have this hybrid. So then I move this army up into Erebor. Decide to leave 1 behind in Dale because I've got a scout. And move this up to Woodland Realm. So now, even though I haven't got the musters, I'm kind of like, oh god, I wish I had Thranduils now. Woodland Realm's buffed, Erebor's buffed, and Dale's got a little cheeky guy in it. Just the bards hanging out on his own, windmilling at the the Nazgul. Then they play Grond, and I'm like, farewell, sweet Gandalf. You've you've kind of done some mischief here. But I think, and then Mistaken Tune says on the ball wizard. I say, yeah, he's screwed. Devilry, okay, that's a nice block. I block Devilry with advantageous position. They still get a hit. They're rerolling for some reason. I think they forgot that I had Scandi in there. I get one hit. They go on to round 2. They miss. They get 2 6s. And I say rerolls. And then they go, oh, shoot. So that should have only been 0 hits. I get none back, though. If I'd got a couple of hits there, no, it still wouldn't have been close. I needed a miracle, and I don't get one. I could have I've considered playing a Sudden Strike at one. Actually, no, because I'm using his leadership, so I couldn't even play the Sudden Strike. Yeah, there's nothing I could really do. One dead wizard. So it bought me some time, but now I'm going to be playing the rest of the game on 4 dice. Was that a good decision? Was that a bad decision? We'll see. And I say, at least he had up like 5 dice and some good cards. You know, they had to play the Relentless Soul. They had to throw a lot of cards at me. Probably not, yeah. Maybe like 4 dice or something like that. I don't know, a few dice. Probably time, but probably not enough is what I say. They go for Dale. I scouts away. Tee-hee-hee. And then that means I can get 2 kind of fully numbered strongholds, so I was very happy with that. Feels very efficient, you know, to have both strongholds fully done up like that. Can't get another elite in there, unfortunately, but I can get 2 movement. Fingers crossed. I move. I missed. They are living a charmed life, those hobbits, to be fair. Wooden Realm of the Siege. I move again. I'm hit. And it's a 1. So I eat that corruption. And I'm kind of like, damn, I should have saved the die, because I could have gone into Mordor. But, like, what were the odds that I was not going to get hit or revealed? I mean, I was highly likely to get revealed. I think I kind of needed to do the mustery stuff that I did to defend elsewhere. So, yeah, I think that was all justified. Yeah. You know, you kind of, in an ideal world, yeah, you can't predict that you're not gonna get revealed at all. I think I was just playing the odds there. They move some dudes around, get guys into Woodland Realm. We go on to turn number 8. I draw into I Will Go Alone, Swords and Eriador, and they draw many kings and flocks of Crebain. 1 eye. We get 2 more eyes added, so pretty not very flexible turn for Mistaken Tuner. But again, I just get 1 movement. But it does mean I can get. Actually, yeah, that's fine. I don't need more movement to get into Mordor, but I am. This is dumb. I'm so not used to being still in Rivendell that I was like, oh, cruel weather is dangerous. I must be careful about cruel weather. I don't need to worry about cruel weather. I'm in Rivendell. So, like, all my thinking about this turn was as if I had to dodge cruel weather. So that was dumb. It's kind of like first world problems. Like, oh, you know. So, right. So this is a mistake here. I forgot to kill Gandhi's die. Luckily, we pick it up quite quickly. So I get 2 leaders in here using a muster. They start marching armies around. I get an elite into Minas Tirith. They go for Druiden. They get the hit. I don't. He dies. I then play I Will Go It Alone. Because again, I'm like, I don't want to go. This game is going to be all about speed. If I've got any chance of winning this game, I need to, and especially on 4 dice, I need to get down to Gollum like soon. I can't be, and I need to also use some of these, make these, you know, companions actually do something. Because if I just go chugging into Mordor with a fully stacked Fellowship, like it's not helping me. It means I'm way too slow, and I need these guys doing something on the actual game board to help me. So conveniently, I can get them exactly to Minas Tirith. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus 1, 10. Minas Tirith. Perfect. And they say, uh-oh, and I say, how many? And then they say, oh, did we kill Gandalf's die? Oh shit, good point. We didn't. So then we discuss it, and then I realize the most convenient, because the right the die to the right hand side is the one you're meant to kill. It was the muster. I say, how about I just kill the two leaders that I use with the muster die? So I mustered with the muster die, and they say, okay, yeah, that's fine, and we'll just carry on as if nothing else had happened, because I don't think that would have affected things too much. And so they're cool with that. So luckily, that's kind of it works out quite neatly, because that could have screwed up the whole turn if I'd, a different die had been killed or something like that. Anyway, so I put that back in my reinforcements, right? So I send all 3 captains of the West. So this is pretty epic. So Boromir, Legolas, and Gimli charge all the way across Middle Earth to try and save Minas Tirith, and get in just before it's put under siege. So the timing and the distance was immaculate. Well done, guys. Excellent work. Mistaken Tuna says, "Yikes." Says, let's see how many they can kill. Yeah, they can counting up the bodies. Puts Minas Tirith under siege. Leaves 1 behind. What's that? Oh, to stop. Okay, that's clever. In case I do a sneaky Osgiliath to fold, to try and get the Rohan force ball. So yeah, that's a smart play. That's the kind of thing that, like, especially because they've got such huge reinforcements here. It's the kind of thing that can cost you a game if this guy gets sneaky and scouts to fold, and then I start mustering, and then I take back. I could take back Edoras or something like that. So yeah, really good play there, actually. I'm with the Fellowship. I'm hit. Get an eye that revealed finally into Morannon. Get a 2. Eat that one up because I need to keep Strider's ability. And then I get an eye, and that does nothing. So not bad. All good. Woodland Realm is attacked. They use a character card. Advantageous does nothing. They get no hits. That's lucky. I get 2 back. Stop. I flip using the other die. They get Woodland Realm again. They play Foul Stench. And then they just get 3 hits. So that sucks. And I get 2 back. Wait, did they kill their guys? Oh, yeah, they killed 2. Yeah, cool. They killed them straight away. Then they draw into the Ring Racer Abroad, so that's nice. And I'm thinking, okay, 4 against 6. Could probably hold that, right? Probably hold that. Got a good chance. Which again buys me some time. Makes me think, I've just got to hold these 2. This one's super stacked. This one has a good chance of holding. And yeah, basically, unless they can just wipe this out in one go with like a Deadly Strife or something, then there's a really decent chance that, or I suppose they're sending these guys up. That's smart, sending these guys up to back them up. So that's their hope, really. But it's buying me just that little bit of time. And then they draw into Corsairs. So they've got all of the strifes. I mean, it's when you've gone through 2/3 of the deck, that's not that unlikely. But that's the one card I really, really, really didn't want them to draw at that point. It's Deadly Strife. That's painful. Now I'm on 4 dice. What did I get? I got Dead Men and File. Wait. Did I draw cards then? Oh my god, did I not draw cards? Am I that stupid? Or did I... Wow. Stake and Tune draws a card. Turn 9, draws a card. Jesus Christ. Didn't even draw cards. What am I thinking? I'm insane. Yeah, because I've had File forever. Okay, well, I just don't want to win this game. So they play Foul Thing, they get an eye. So that sucks. I then play... So I moved... Sorry, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. I moved, it was a 1. Then they played Foul Thing, it was an eye. I played File to get that in there. I wanted to move before I put File, I thought, because there's only 1. I think the odds of me getting hit by a red... I just didn't want to get another red in before I put File in. So I thought I'd move once, and then put File in afterwards. They get the Mouth. I move again. It's a 0 reveal. So that slows me down. But hell, I ain't complaining. That's a great tile when there's 2 reds in there. Then they go for Woodland Realm. Deadly Strife. Ugh. And they get all the hits that they need, as you'd expect, right? You should get 4 hits of Shadow. I get 4 back. Nicely done. And now it's all on the captains. It's all on these guys to just hang on in there. Good job, boys. Or is it good job, boys? I don't know. Is there a way that they could get... they're just short of being able to potentially get the 4 cities. So obviously that's 1 attack, 2 combined, 3. Yeah, I mean, I guess they'd have to use a ring for the character, and yeah, so they actually okay. So that's really close, actually. One die away from probably being able to win it this turn. Let's just kill those lads in Woodland Realm. Oops, hee. And then they, with character dice, they ready their armies in. They decide to redo that. And they decided rather than just using the character die, they play Ring Racer Abroad to be extra efficient and just have an attack, have a go at me first. Because then I think let this army get weakened and then fully reinforce it with this army. So I think that makes sense. Gandhi's not in there, so the mouth doesn't make a huge difference. They play character card. I play character card. I've got my sudden strike, which is great for this situation. My captains get 2 hits. Excellent job, boys. They get 1 hit back. And I get another 4 hits. So they're doing the business. They're doing the business. Excellent work, guys. Excellent work. How many hits did I get on those rerolls? Just the 1. But still, excellent work, Gimli, whoever that was. And then I use my final die to flip. Skiddiat is attacked from the south. No card. They miss. I sneak away to Lossenac. Just thinking in case I get help unlooked for, I could just, be awkward. Then they flip the mouth and get their armies in there ready to butcher me next turn, and basically get to 10 victory points. So at this point, I say I need a bit of a miracle now because I need to roll at least 3 movement on 4 dice, which isn't that unlikely given you've got a 50% chance on each die to roll a movement, but I need it because I don't think this is going to hold out. And if this does hold out, they probably can, get Pelargir and the Shire. So, Mistaken Tunes, there's still a chance. And they draw Wormtongue and Shadow Lengthens. I draw Ents and Tom Bombadil, having not drawn cards the previous turn. So I was thinking, oh, Tom Bombadil, if they do go for this, that could save my ass. But then I've only got 4 dice, so if I use a card to play Tom Bombadil, then I can't dunk anyway. I don't think. I suppose I could with 1 if I get pristine movement, which is unlikely. Is it even possible? Given the amount of reveals in there, it would be incredibly unlikely. I'm not sure if it would even work. So anyway, I decided to add an eye. They roll this. 4 eyes in there. I roll this. I say, wowee, let's give this a bash. Move the fellowship. Hit an eye. Which is actually kind of dreamy. Kind of the perfect tile because it gets me down to Gollum, which means that from now on, like if I just got like what could I have got there that would have sucked? Like a 1 reveal, there's not, or 2 reveals. It seems good, but it's not that good because it can't get me down to Gollum. 1 reveal, I can't kill Strider for a 1. What'd you do? What'd you do? I don't know. It's really awkward. So anyway, so that's great. That's actually like, I couldn't have asked for a better tile, weirdly. They go for Minas Tirith. Foul Stench, advantage position. Bombadil's not happening. He does nothing. They whiff. I whiff. They press. They draw into Shadow's Lair. Uh-oh. And then I look at my cards. I've got Bilbo's Song and Fateful Strike. And I'm like, thinking about it, it's like, If I hit the red tile, I'm kind of screwed regardless. So, because I don't think I'm going to be able to win the game anyway. So my logic was I'm not going to have time to play Bilbo Song this turn. Um, and next turn, if I haven't dunked already, then um, it's kind of a moot point because I just can't see how they're not going to win this turn, by some means. So maybe, and I figure I've got a better chance of surviving militarily than by killing the Witch King. And then if this holds on, then I don't have to move the second time. I can just hang on at step 4, wait till next turn, and then move against lower eyes, which kind of means that Bilbo Song isn't as relevant. Plus, I'd want to move first thing next turn anyway, rather than playing Bilbo Song, because then otherwise they could throw Isildur's Bane at me or throw another red tile in there. So all this kind of logic's going on in my head. Don't know if it's the correct play or not, but I go for Fateful Strike to try and kill the Witch King. They get 1 hit on the Mumakil. So 2 hits on the Mumakil. I get 2 hits back. I don't get the second one. So I kill a Nazgul, don't kill the Witch King. That would have been a really sweet, really beautiful ending to the game. So close. 2 and a Nazgul. So the guys are doing their job. They stop. And I notice that on that round of combat, I think they... Oh, yeah. So I flip the Fellowship. They put Shelob in. I move. Yeah, right. I get a 0. So another amazing tile. So I'm living a charmed life. Despite being 6 down on movement, I've made it this far. And the -6 movement luck is kind of being balanced out by the Mordor luck. 0 reveal. I've got a chance here. They don't play the character, which tells me they don't have a, Hail Mary cards to attack the Fellowship with. They don't. They've just got Nazgul Strike. So they combine in here. Now I'm like, because they haven't played a character card already, I know that I can chill. So I don't do anything. I decide to wait. Because if I can get to next turn and survive militarily, then the eyes don't kill me. Because right now, eyes kill me. Okay. And breathe. They attack Minas Tirith, no card. They're trying to cycle. They get 1 hit and the leader. I get 3 hits back. They press. They draw into Breaking Dread and Despair. So not the card they're looking for, but I don't know that. They play a strategy card. I play no card. They've got a Great Host. They don't get any hits. I get 1 hit back, but that means the Great Host still activates, so they get 1 more hit, and then they stop. Now I'm like, okay, I've got a decision to make. I've got a ring. They've got a ring. If they have, what cards could they have? Strategy cards for the Shadow. So they've played a lot of strategy cards, but they haven't played Isildur's Bane. And they haven't played the final red tile. So, specifically for Isildur's Bane, that's the one I'm most worried about. Because if they play Isildur's Bane, okay, they might hit. If it hits a Shelob, I'm screwed. If it hits a 3, it doesn't matter if they hit the reds, it still screws me completely. If they hit a 3, I'm screwed. If they hit a 2, I'm screwed. It's just really bad. Really, really bad. There's only like a few that would actually really be good for me. Because they don't have the red eye in there, right? So I'm like, I have to just chance it now. I think I can't take the risk of them having Isildur's Bane. There's only 6 cards left in the deck, 1 in 7 from that draw. But yeah, are there any other cards they could have thrown at me? I think they've already played Foul Thing. They've already played a lot of them. But yeah, even just the extra red tile to hurt my odds. And you never know as well. They might just roll a bunch of eyes next turn. Sometimes that happens freakishly. They just roll like 5 eyes. I've seen that happen loads of times when you think I'll wait another turn. They roll 4 or 5 eyes anyway. So I decide to move. It's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to win. Just over 50%. Here we go. And it's a 2 reveal. And they dunk the ring. And the 3 people win. Ugh. So I couldn't believe I won that one. Really surprised. I've had so many games recently. I had this really rough run of Fellowship luck, and it's starting to turn back to me in a way, because that was a blessed Mordor track. But having said that, when you're 6 movement down, and +4 in musters, it's pretty rough for the Fellowship. Pretty rough to even get there. So I think the Gandalf move was right. I mean, it worked because I won the game, but I basically, what did I get out of that? I got maybe a turn, probably got 1 turn, but then I needed it to go perfectly in Mordor for that to balance out. Thinking back, the fact they had Durin's Bane here makes me think maybe that wasn't the wisest play. Yeah, maybe the Weeper of the Swift to get some guys in here would have been smarter, and then maybe send Gandhi later to Minas Tirith. Yeah, maybe the other way around. But yeah, super close game, really fun, and any game where Gandhi charged into Lorien and they march 9 spaces, the companions, all the way to Minas Tirith just in time to save the day. Because there's a good chance this would have fallen. Could have fallen last turn, maybe. Not sure. Probably not, but I'm sure they definitely made a difference. So yeah, that was a fun game of War of the Ring. Let's have a quick look at the rest of the stats. So yeah, also -1 on hits. They were -5 on. Oh no, these are switched round. So the 3 people were -5 on hits. The Shadow were -3, but they played a lot of cards. Yeah, I think a few of those 4s probably hit because of the Deadly Strifes, I imagine, and some of those 2s as well. So slightly worse for the Shadow, but 3 people, but pretty even. 3 people dice, -6 movement. Yeah, they had very low hybrids. That's very low for 8 armies. Sorry, 6 armies. So that kind of makes up for it somewhat. So pretty even on attacks, but hybrids are the most versatile dice in the game. So that's unfortunate for them. But anyway, I hope that was enjoyable. I hope you had a fun time watching it, and I'll see you around. Bye bye.